or I don't want to see that, or I already know that conversation. And so this is something I learned from working with the institutions. The director had an agenda. She was interested in another body of work from another artist who took pictures of, who was a tattoo artist, Lou the Jew, who did tattoos. He was a Jewish tattoo artist from LA, nothing else. So she had an original interest in that. And when I met her, I said, but this is not about Jews and tattoos. It so happens. And I can't get away from it because some of them are so heavily covered. So I can't say that I was ignoring that. I definitely was interested in why my friends branded themselves this way versus why we were branded then as cattle. So I felt like some of these guys might be branding themselves to assimilate, to be cool, to hide. Like in some sense, these are the Jews that are still hiding, that you know, that you've met. Like Typo doesn't introduce himself as like, I'm a Jew, but he is, and he's got Hebrew letters around his neck. So in some ways the tattoos sort of, it's a modern day of hiding in Auschwitz. I mean, I don't know how else to say that, but like, I feel like there are still an inordinate amount of Jews who are not comfortable letting people know that they're part of this tribe because of the same misgivings that I have. Or they don't want to be looked at as weak or privileged or all this stuff. So I'm not saying all these guys did tattoos for that reason. They have a different reason for every single person you talk to. Tony on the other side, Joshua is an amazing graphic artist. So I feel like the way he laid out his tattoos was almost like a formal composition, almost like a totem pole of his life. Same thing with Tony on the other side. I don't have any tattoos. My father, when he saw my sister's tattoo, he said, the Germans gave those for free. That was his response to it. So my sister was like, okay, I'm just not gonna show you who I am then, you know, Dad. And I feel like that is the new Jewish generation. It's like, well, if you don't accept us for not thinking like you guys, well then you're not gonna know us. And I felt like this exhibition was my attempt to bridge the older generation Jews and the younger generation Jews, or the estranged Jews, or people who came to the opening were people with a quarter Jew in them, or my great uncle was, but I felt like, wow, you opened this door for me, so I might as well like explore. And I thought, wow, this show did more than I really ever thought. I grew up around the corner from the Tree of Life Synagogue. So when the mass shooting happened, I had already made this work. And people were like, oh my God, you should show this work now. And I'm like, you know, the fucking art world and its trends, like I've had it with that. Like this work, and because I shoot artwork all the time for different museums, I think that I have a very serious stake in making work that matters to me. And sort of like Susan Sontag, to be photographed is to matter, because we don't photograph things that don't matter to us in our world. So I am sort of sick of looking at artwork that means nothing.